Hey guys, I am Zach, and I am here today with Razzle to go over my top 10 films of 2015. It is that time of the year, guys. It is 2016. It is a brand new year, so I'm going to go over the films that I loved from 2015. I'm just going to give you a little bit of a warning here. You might not agree with my choices, but that's what's beautiful about film. It is subjective, and these are my choices. So you let me know what your choices are in the comments, and we'll be able to discuss it. Coming in at number 10 is Sicario. Sicario, I gave an 8.5 out of 10 to, and this film, for me, was just so dark and raw and visceral that I was on the edge of my seat the entire time watching it. Sicario shined in its performances, and Emily Blunt and Benicio del Toro were fantastic. They really sold me on the characters they were. You will be floored by the performances in this film, and you're going to be floored by the film itself. I truly believe that. Sicario was a slow-burning thriller that kept me enticed the entire time, and that's why Sicario is number 10 on my list. Coming in at number 9 on my list with a score of 8.5 out of 10 is Steven Spielberg's Bridge of Spies. Now, Bridge of Spies is a political and historical drama, and it stars Tom Hanks and Mark Rylance, and those two guys are the reason you need to see this film. Tom Hanks is always good. He's consistently good in films, and he's especially consistently good in Steven Spielberg films. So, Tom Hanks obviously is going to be good in this film, but the standout actor for me in this movie is Mark Rylance. He was incredible. If you go see Bridge of Spies only for Mark Rylance, you'll have a treat. He was exceptional. He made me feel emotions that I didn't know I could feel for this Soviet character that he was playing. He was incredible. Mark Rylance was great in this movie. Steven Spielberg, as always, is a great director. And guys, go see this movie if you enjoy exposition films. I know that might sound weird, but I myself enjoy films where characters are just going to talk for a while and they're going to move the story along like that, and this was a great example of an exposition film done right. There's not a lot of action. There's some, but there's not a lot, and I know that's going to drag a lot of people away from this film and say, well, I didn't enjoy it. It was just one of those talkies. You'll enjoy this movie if you enjoy brilliantly crafted filmmaking and excellently written exposition, because that's what Bridge of Spies is, and that's why Bridge of Spies is number 9 on my list. Coming in at number 8 on my list with a score of 8.5 is Joel Edgerton's first feature film, The Gift. Joel Edgerton could put on a directorial debut clinic because this film was awesome. I watched The Gift on the edge of my seat the entire time. This film encapsulated me. I was enticed the entire movie. Joel Edgerton and Jason Bateman work incredibly well off each other in this film. It's acted beautifully, it is shot beautifully, and the twist at the end, you will not see it coming. The Gift is a gut punch of a film, but you will love it. And that's why The Gift, for me, is number 8 on my list. Alrighty guys, now we're getting into the top 7 films of 2015. Now I'm just going to give a little bit of a warning here. The top 7 films of 2015 were very hard for me to space out and put them into the right order, but I think I got it down. 2015 was a packed year for great movies, and I absolutely loved all 7 of these movies, and that's why at number 7 I'm going to put Quentin Tarantino's The Hateful Eight, which I gave a 9 out of 10. Now, Quentin Tarantino is by far one of my favorite directors, and a lot of people didn't like The Hateful Eight. I myself did. It was incredibly reminiscent of a theater show. It was incredibly reminiscent of a play, and I loved that aspect of it. Just getting to see these 9 characters in a cabin playing out and just talking to each other, yelling at each other, interacting with each other, and learning as the characters are learning was amazing. Quentin Tarantino is a fantastic writer and a great director, and this film looked absolutely beautiful. I loved that claustrophobic aspect of it, and I loved the way the snow felt like a character. That's why The Hateful Eight is number 7 on my list. Number 6 on my list, and I'm actually a little depressed that this film is number 6 and not higher, is Mad Max Fury Road. Holy cow. I gave Mad Max Fury Road a 9 out of 10, and this movie was incredible. I tell you what, Mad Max Fury Road was a treat. It was a thrill and it was a ride. No pun intended. I enjoyed every second of Mad Max Fury Road. It was arguably the most fun I've had in a theater in a long time until, well, one of my other movies that I saw this year that's going to be a little higher on this list. Mad Max Fury Road was incredible. It has fantastic visual effects. It has great acting, a fantastic story, one of the strongest female characters we're going to see all year, and impeccable direction from George Miller. This movie is a treat, guys. Go and watch this movie. I know a lot of people are not liking this movie, and I know my co-host Ryan touched upon it a little bit, but I think that this film is amazing, and I'm so glad that this film is getting the recognition it's getting in the awards circuit, and I am so happy to say that Mad Max Fury Road is number 6 on my list. Coming in at number 5 on my list is the only horror film of the year that's going to be on my list, and that saddens me as a huge fan of horror films, but It Follows was amazing, and that's why I give it a 9 out of 10. It Follows, guys, was incredible. I loved it. The characters were beautifully written. It was beautifully shot. It was well acted. It was a very good movie, and I had a treat with it. Me and my fellow co-host Ryan, we went and saw this film in theaters, and guys, we were blown away. It wasn't incredibly scary as it was unnerving, and we were just totally shaken after seeing this film. It was a great experience. Guys, one of my favorite things about It Follows is that it is beginning and following in a trend I've seen recently in horror films towards smart horror, and that is something that excites me. I love smart horror movies. I love horror movies that are beautifully directed and beautifully written and don't just rely on jump scares. It Follows has an amazing message, and it's not just a film to scare you. It's a film that scares you and has to say something as well, and that's what's beautiful about It Follows. It Follows is probably going to be one of my most rewatched films of this year. I'm going to rewatch this movie so many times, and it has personally inspired me. It Follows is an incredible film and one of my favorite of the year. I wish it could have been higher on the list, but I just couldn't make it happen. That's why It Follows is number 5. Coming in at number 4 on my list, and I am so proud to say this, is Ridley Scott's The Martian. I gave Ridley Scott's The Martian a 9 out of 10, and guys, this blew me away. And there's a reason I'm saying Ridley Scott's The Martian and not just The Martian, and that's because Ridley Scott blew me away. Holy cow, Ridley Scott directed the crap out of this film, and I hope we can say that we have Ridley Scott back, because this movie was incredible. Not only did it have a fantastic ensemble cast, a great performance by Matt Damon, but it was written beautifully. It was just, the scope of this film was incredible. Mars looked beautiful. The entire film looked beautiful. It was hilarious. It was sad. It was heart-pounding. It was just a great overall film. It was paced incredibly well, and I mean, there is one scene that I just really didn't like, but other than that, this movie is near perfect. I loved Ridley Scott's The Martian, and for me, that's why it's number 4 on my list, guys. Go see The Martian. Coming in at number 3 on my list, guys, and I am so happy to tell you this, is Ryan Coogler's Creed. I gave Creed a 9 out of 10, and guys, I can tell you that I have never been more heart-poundingly into a film ever. This movie just got me going. I was sitting in the theater with Alan and Ryan, and we were watching this movie, and personally, my heart was just pounding during these fight scenes. If you ask me, these are the best fight scenes ever filmed on film. They were incredible. The middle fight in this movie is absolutely beautiful, and it is shot in one take, and you will love it. Ryan Coogler directed a fantastic film that not only made the characters feel real, but the town of Philadelphia was a character itself. Ryan Coogler, you directed a masterpiece. Michael B. Jordan and Sylvester Stallone have incredible chemistry, and Sylvester Stallone puts on the best performance of his entire career. Guys, go and see Creed. For me, it's the second best movie in the Rocky franchise. I love it. Alright guys, we've finally gotten to the point we've all been waiting for. The top 2 films of 2015. For me, the second best film of 2015 is Star Wars The Force Awakens, which I give a 9.5 out of 10. J.J. Abrams, you did it. You made the most hyped film of all time, and you made it well. Oh my goodness, Star Wars The Force Awakens is an experience. I have seen this film more times than I care to say in theaters, and I will see it again and again and again, and it will be my most revisited film of the year. Easily, because I am a huge Star Wars fan. JJ, you did it. You and Lawrence Kasdan, you created beautiful new characters, and you made them amazing parts of this film. I didn't even need to see the old characters. That's how great these new characters were, and you made them work. I felt emotion. I felt like all the characters were there for a purpose, and I loved it. This film had flaws, but I looked past those flaws because I just had more fun with this movie than I've had with any other movie I've ever seen. This was just incredible. It was an incredible experience for me, but it wasn't the best film of the year. That's why Star Wars The Force Awakens is my number 2 film. Alright guys, for number 1 on my list, we have the sci-fi drama Ex Machina. Ex Machina is amazing. I give it a 9.5 out of 10, and it is by far the best film of 2015. I loved Ex Machina, guys. It is by first-time feature film director Alex Garland, and I don't know what's in the water 2015, but first-time feature film directors killed it this year. Alex Garland crafted an incredible film that hinged on the performances of 3 amazing young actors. Oscar Isaac, Donald Gleason, and Alicia Vikander were absolutely incredible in this movie, guys. They did it. Something about this movie just hit me. This had the biggest emotional weight of any film this year, and something that Alex does with this film will blow you away. It is just incredibly well written and incredibly well directed and incredibly well acted. It has some of the best special effects I've seen in a long time. It is an incredible movie. Guys, you have to watch Ex Machina, and I'm glad that it's getting more recognition because this film deserves all the recognition it's going to get. It was nominated for a bunch of BAFTA awards, and that makes me incredibly happy because this movie was incredible. I cannot say it any other way. Ex Machina is incredible. It's an incredible film. You have to watch it. This movie is great. I'm going to be studying this film. I'm going to sit down and just study this movie because it's incredible. It is sci-fi done right. So right. Guys, watch Ex Machina. It is my number 1 film of the year for great reasons. Watch it. It's great. So there you have it, my top 10 films of 2015. Let me know what you thought of the films I chose. Let me know what you would have chosen. And hey, I want to have a discussion about these movies. That's what I love about film. We can talk about it. We can sit down and we can talk about these movies because they are fun to talk about. Guys, I'm going to watch these movies a whole bunch more, and I cannot wait to see what 2016 has in store for us. Anyway, guys, for Razzle, I am Zach, and make sure to check back because we're going to keep going into 2016, and we're going to have ourselves another great year of film. Thanks.